Hi darlings, my name is Daniella and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a Bridgerton season 3 review. I reviewed part 1 previously and you can watch that up on my channel. I'll put it up. This video is gonna be like a full season 3 review, so part 1 and part 2 and just everything together. I'm going to be doing it the way I normally do my TV reviews, so I'll talk about the characters, talk about the plot, and what I want for season 4. Also want to put a disclaimer out that this video will not be super negative. I'm not going to be hating on Jess Brownell the whole entire time. I'm going to try my best to be very well thought out with what I say. I feel like the conversation about Bridgerton season 3 has been extremely negative on social media recently. The TikTokers are going crazy. Comments in the Bridgerton posts are going crazy. It's very vile, very just terrible, and it's been very racist and homophobic, and I do not want that on my video. So if you're here to comment that, I will delete your comment because that is not what this channel is about and that is not what this video is about at all. So while I do think that the season did not end up meeting the expectations that all of us had, I think that we can have those conversations and talk about our desires and our wants in a nicer, more respectful way. So that is what this video will be. So let's get right into it. Okay, starting off, I'm gonna talk about the characters. The Queen. Queen this season, I feel like didn't show that much of her personality. As I said previously, I feel like this season, she was literally just there to unmask Lady Whistledown, which has been her goal for the whole entire show. But I kind of wish that we got to see a little bit more of her, maybe her and the King, just because Queen Charlotte came out in between season 2 and season 3 of Bridgerton, found such a big and deep love for the two of them, and then we didn't see the King at all this season, and the Queen was just doing Lady Whistledown. So I wish we got to see more of that. Now that she has unmasked Lady Whistledown, what will the Queen's storyline be in the coming season? I feel like she won't play a very big role anymore, especially because Francesca and Eloise and Benedict's seasons, their stories, at least in the books, are very much not very Ton focused. We will see how that works, but I'm kind of sad that if this is the most we will see of the Queen after this, that this is how it ended, because I feel like she could have had so much more, and I'm hoping for more. Next up, I'm going to talk about Gregory and Hyacinth. I love Gregory and Hyacinth. I love how much they utilized them this season. Gregory and Hyacinth were just so cute and such good little comedy relief sometimes. I think it's really nice to see more of their personalities and their characters coming out this season. I really like the fact that Hyacinth was the first one to hug Penelope when Colin and Penelope announced that they were engaged, and how close Hyacinth and Gregory are to Kate as well, with Kate trying to make sure that Gregory got the food that he wanted. And I also really like seeing them with the Mondrich's son. I think we don't really get to see kids in the Ton and kids in Bridgerton very often, and I really like that we got to see that more of them, and I'm so excited to see more of them in the coming season. Next up is the Mondrichs. As I said previously, I love the Mondrichs. I think their storyline is interesting, and I don't think it's one that should be cut, because a lot of people, when they say they don't like the Mondrichs, it could be rooted in racism, because they are the one Black storyline and y'all are so quick to want to cancel it. So I'm not a fan of that hate. But I really like the Monrich ball. I thought the butterfly thing was so beautiful, and that was so cool, and I really like seeing them really fully coming into the Ton. I really like the relationship with Benedict, and I hope that when we come to Benedict's season that they play a role in that, because that would just be so sweet. Next up is Cressida. Cressida's storyline this season actually made me mad. The way that it ended actually made me so angry, because Cressida could have still played the role she played for the Lady Whistledown storyline and got married to Lord Debling. I don't understand why Cressida did not have a happy ending, because Lord Debling, literally the suitor she was going for, and when Penelope ended it with him, Cressida would have made the most sense to go to next, unless Lord Debling just did not like Cressida. But I wish we got to see that type of conversation happen, because Lord Debling was nowhere to be found in part 2. And I just feel like Cressida deserved so much better. We got to learn more about her. We got to see the life that she lives. We got to see her motives. We got to see her desires. But then she just ended going with her aunt. I feel like she deserves so much more than that. And I think that she deserved to be with Lord Debling, because she wanted to be with him. She would get to live the life she wanted to live. She would get to be independent, and I just feel like it would have made the most sense to end it with her still ending up with Lord Debling. That's all I have to say. I really like Cressida with the Lady Whistledown storyline. That's how it is in the book, and it literally was exactly how I wanted it to be, so that was good as well. Next up is Lady Danbury. This season she played a really low-key role, and it was just really more as Violet's friend and the confidant of the queen. She didn't play a role in like the love story, which like I said, I was really sad about because she plays such a big role in the books. I just feel like Lady Danbury, like, she just lacked most of her character spunk that we see normally. I feel like this is similar to the queen. I think we got to see that a lot more with her relationship with Lord Marcus and her brother. I think that was really, really interesting. And I think the way that they positioned it, we could be getting a Lady Danbury spinoff very soon. Hopefully, hopefully. Lord Marcus, I really like Lord Marcus. I like the fact that he and Lady Violet are a thing. I like that he gives her butterflies. Like, I think it's really cute. I think Lord Marcus is really interesting because I really like the way that he was introduced and how we got to learn more about Lady Danbury through his character. And I'm really looking forward to hopefully learning more about him in the upcoming seasons, and also possibly in a spinoff if we get that, because I think if we did a Lady Danbury spinoff with Lord Marcus, now that we know him, it would be really, really interesting. Next up, I'm gonna talk about Lady Violet. Lady Violet is my queen. I love her. Great mother. She does an amazing job. I do want to say I'm kind of confused why Lady Violet didn't support Francesca's marriage. Maybe I'm missing something, but I just never understood that storyline. Like, was there a bigger reason than the fact that she just like didn't want to talk to the queen about it? Like, someone explain that in the comments if you know. I like her with Lord Marcus. I think that her finally opening up to love is really exciting. I don't think that she does in the books. Like, I don't think she gets a second love in the books. I don't know. I haven't read her book yet. And I like the way that they're writing her character. I think Lady Violet, Lord Marcus, Lady Danbury, like, could all be a joint spin-off. I really, 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 really want a Lady Danbury spin-off soon. And I think Lady Violet being a part of that would be really cool with the queen as well, kind of like Queen Charlotte. The Featherington. Prudence and Philippa this season were literally some of my favorite characters, actually. I normally don't like the Featheringtons, but they were so funny this season. But I think that the storyline of the Featheringtons this season was so important and so beautiful, and it was really important and like a main storyline. The sisterhood between the Featherington sisters with Prudence and Philippa, and also Penelope as well. I really like the fact that they all got pregnant and that Prudence and Philippa had girls, and like they'll have like cousins. I really, really love the ball that they had at the end, and the moment where Philippa saves Penelope with Varley the bugs, like that. Ooh, as someone who has a sister, like, that was really good writing. That was really good writing. I will give them that one. Now for Portia, I love Portia Featherington now. Never thought I would say that. Never thought I would say that, but Portia's storyline this season really just showed you, like, she has been through so much. She had a terrible husband, and she has been working every single day since that man died to save her family from ruin, to help her daughters still live the life. She just deserves so much love. Like, she did not treat Penelope right. Like, she was a bad mother to Penelope, and I will still stand on that because she treated Penelope so meanly. And she did really, really, really treat Penelope so badly in the book as well. Peeling back the layers of Portia really shows that she was just a girl. Like, Portia was just a girl trying to figure out this world, and she said it like, how was I supposed to raise you girls when everything told me that power comes from being a man? And like, to see that, like, that was so good. Although Portia's been off, because I think it would be so interesting to see how she ended up with the Featherington father, and just like seeing Portia and how she grew up, because I just think she did so much. And I really, 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 really love the fact that Portia was a part of Penelope telling the world that she was Lady Whistledown, because in the book that's not the fact. But I think that shows that in the show, that change of the close relationship of Penelope and Portia is so beautiful, and it's so sweet, and I love that we got to see that. Now I'm going to talk about Kate and Anthony. If you've been on this channel, if you know me, you know that Kate and Anthony are my everything. I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them. And truly, in part 2, they made me love them even more. First of all, Kate is pregnant, and I'm so excited for baby Bridgerton. They are playing the role of big sister and big brother so well. Anthony being the oldest and being the father figure for literally all of the Bridgerton siblings, being so happy, and having Kate as his wife, and the way that she loves his siblings so deeply is so good. And it's such a great, beautiful thing to see. Like, oh my gosh, I think it's so good. But I just like love Kate and Anthony this season. I think that every single moment that they were on the screen, it was a great moment. They did not waste a single second of their screen time. That conversation that they had with Colin the night before his wedding, like, oh, that was so good. That was so good. And I love seeing all of the Bridgerton siblings being so close to Kate. I just love it. I love it. And Anthony just being so chill. Like, his life is so chill. He's so happy now. He's so carefree because Kate is his wife. And I think that's how everyone should feel when they get get married. Like, really excited to see what they will do with Kate and Anthony. I know that Johnny is getting busy, booked and busy. He's been in the industry for a while and he's finally getting the flowers he deserves, and I'm so happy for him. And I know Simone is also getting really busy as well, so we will see if we get to see them in season 4. I'm really hoping that we do. But honestly, I would love a Kate and Anthony spinoff. I think a Kate and Anthony spinoff with them in India, with Edwina coming back, because Charitra, I miss you. I miss you, Charitra. You, like, she's so amazing, and I miss Edwina. Seeing Edwina with her husband, because she got a husband now, like, I think that would be so good. So good. And I think it would just be so fun. And I think low-key, they set it up really well for that to be like a spinoff. So I would love that. But if not, I just want Kate and Anthony in season 4. Please. Next up, I'm going to talk about Eloise. I don't know how I feel about Eloise this season, because I feel like for the first half of the season, it was very Cresta focused for Eloise's storyline. Second half of the season, it was like Penelope focused for her storyline and like helping Penelope, but also like getting close to Francesca. It's kind of a whole thing. But I'm really happy that Eloise and Penelope are friends again. I don't think I realized how much I missed that until they were back together, and I was like, the girls are back. Like, the girls are back, and I missed them. Like, I missed their friendship. I missed how close they were. I missed that they literally like knew each other in a way, like, you know, having a best friend, like, you know, like that the way you know each other and the way Eloise and Penelope know each other, like, I missed seeing that on the screen. So I'm really happy that they're back and friends and they work together to unmask Lady Whistledown. I'm more than anything, I'm just excited for what's to come for Eloise. I think they have set up her character really well to have so much character development in the upcoming season, and I'm just excited for it. Like, I'm just excited to see what she will do in Scotland, what will happen in her love story, because there are talks apparently that her love story might not even go the way it goes in the book, which low-key I wouldn't be mad about. I haven't read the book yet, but I've heard everything about it and I wouldn't be mad about it. Now, Benedict. I love Benedict. Benedict is one of my favorite Bridgertons. He's one of my favorite characters. I love his storyline in the books. I've read his book and it's really good, but this season felt like a waste of Benedict's character. I think after season 1, we all kind of already knew that Benedict was bi, and if you didn't already know that, like, you could have rewatched season 1 and known that. Like, I think we knew that. We saw a little bit more in season 2. Like, I think we all knew that Benedict was bi. Benedict's storyline took up a good chunk of time that we definitely could have spent on Penelope and Colin. I don't want to erase how important his storyline is for his character, because it is important for him to come to terms with his sexuality. Like, that's a very important thing, and I think that's a really beautiful thing to put on the screen. But they put this storyline to the detriment of the character development we had already had for Benedict, because the one thing that makes me really mad about this storyline was when he first meets the new guy, when he's like, oh, like, do you paint, do you do art, like, do anything? He was just like, no. And I was just like, what happened to Benedict in season 2? What happened to Benedict at the art school? Because that's such a big part of Benedict's storyline. That's a big part of Benedict as a person. We spent a whole season experiencing that with him, and for him to just kind of like put that all away this season was just so weird to me. Internal conflict that Benedict, I guess, is technically having, and like, what am I, where do I go in this world? That was the storyline of Colin in the books. Like, Colin was the one that's struggling with what do I do in this world because he's a third brother, whereas Benedict was chill because he had his art and he was known for that. So I was just like, why did we erase that? Maybe we're gonna bring it back in Benedict's season, but I just wish we got to see more of Benedict doing stuff that he loved, because we spent so much time learning about his love for art and poetry and how creative and artistic he was in season 2, and then all of that kind of just went away. Francesca! I love Francesca. I love Francesca. I'm kind of sad that her wedding was this season, because I feel like she didn't get to shine, but I also think it really does work because she doesn't like to be in the spotlight. So having Francesca's wedding be in this season actually kind of works best for her character, and also because while her and John are a beautiful couple, I love them so very much, their love story is not the final love story for Francesca, and so I think it actually works, because now when we get to Francesca's season, which I think will be a duo with Eloise, it will work a little bit better, if you know what I mean. Liked her stepping up. I liked her telling the queen that she was in love with John, even though it wasn't the time or the place, but I liked that she put herself out there and was bold. I'm excited for Francesca's next season. Like, I like Michaela Sterling. Don't get me started. Don't come on here hating Michaela Sterling. I like Michaela Sterling. I haven't read Francesca's book, and I'm really excited to read Francesca's book, but I really like Michaela Sterling. The only thing I'm a little bit mad about is because Francesca loves John. With the introduction of Michaela, she couldn't say her name, which is what Violet told her was what she did when she met Edmund. It's giving that Francesca was in love with Michaela at first sight, which is fine, but I just don't like the fact that, like, she's in this marriage with her husband while pining for his cousin, because that's not how it was in the book. And I also just don't think that that is like right. I feel like that's not a Francesca thing to do. Like, I feel like Francesca would be fully in love with Lord Kilmartin, then after losing him, like, go to Michaela. You know what I mean? So that's just what I thought. Talking about Colin and Penelope. I'm gonna start off with Colin. Colin this season did not have character development. He needed character development, and I thought maybe in part 2 we would learn more about him, but we just didn't, and I didn't like that. And I talked a lot about that in my first video, so I don't want to spend the whole time talking about that because we didn't get to learn more about Colin. Anger and his absolute like no to Penelope being Lady Whistledown did not make sense, and a lot of the movements, a lot of the decisions he made did not make sense. We just couldn't fully understand why Colin was acting the way he was acting because we didn't know anything about him, and I don't like that that was the case, because this was his season. This is called Bridgerton for a reason. It's about the Bridgerton family. This was Colin's book. This was Colin's season, and I do understand wanting to make Penelope the main character. I think Colin really, really deserved to also be main character and get the development that Penelope got this season as well, because we just needed to know more to understand more why he was thinking the way he was thinking, why he was acting the way he was acting. Like, I just feel like we needed more. We missed out on a love declaration this season because we did not get to see why Colin loved Penelope. We all know that Penelope loves Colin since the day she met him, but Colin is the one falling in love with her, and we didn't get a love declaration. The carriage scene was not a love declaration. We didn't get to hear him fully say, I love you, I want you, I need you. Like, we didn't get to see that. I think that did such a disservice because one, Colin's love declaration in the book is so beautiful, and two, we should have seen that because that would have done so much for their love story. Let's talk about Penelope. Penelope this season had so much character development, and I really, really enjoyed that. I love seeing her relationship with Portia, as I already said. She deserved more. She deserves so much more. She deserved more from Colin, and she deserved more in her love story, and that makes me sad because she had grown so much, and I feel like part 2 we were supposed to see that and see how she was being loved and cared for by Colin, and we just didn't. And it makes me sad. It does make me sad that their love story was just not fully developed in the way that they deserved. The previous seasons and Queen Charlotte in itself, like, we see a love story, and this one we just didn't see a love story for them fully developed. Like, we saw Francesca and Lord Kilmartin's love story more than we did Penelope and Colin's, and I just don't think that that's fair to them. And I don't think that they necessarily needed to kill all these side plots to get that. I think that the moments that we had of Colin and Penelope together were not done well. They were full of fights and anger and so many mixed emotions that you can even tell how they were feeling. I'm gonna start talking about the plot because I'm not even talking about Penelope now. Let's start talking about the plot. There were just so many mixed emotions. Like, even on their wedding day, I didn't know if Colin was happy. I didn't know if Penelope was happy because they just weren't talking to each other. And I just don't think that that's right or fair to either of them, that their love story was full of that. And then, like, the whole Lady Whistledown thing just kind of ruined their whole entire love story. And this is part of the reason why, instead of doing the part 2 and splitting the season, they should have put it together and kept the Lady Whistledown and the love story together. Because in the book, Colin knows she's Lady Whistledown before they even get married, before they even get engaged. He knows. It happens before the carriage scene. And so, to separate that and to make him find out after the fact, after he's compromised her, after all these things, adds so many more issues into the relationship, and I think it does a disservice to their love story, and we saw that so vividly through this season. The Lady Whistledown storyline was so much more interesting than their love story, and that should not have been the case. A lot of people have been saying that there weren't enough intimate scenes this season, and while I do think that that is true because there was really only one, the intimate scenes wouldn't have done what you thought they were going to do because their love still doesn't make sense to us. It still doesn't work for us, and we still don't know enough about them to really appreciate the love story and the love scene. And the last thing I want to say about the plot and like the season was, I think the music was good. It had too many good songs. Sometimes the music was overpowering in the scenes that I was like, oh my gosh, this song is so good, and not like, oh my gosh, this scene is so good. POV for the mirror scene, I was enjoying the mirror scene more because POV was playing, not because of the mirror scene. I was enjoying the wedding more because yellow, orchestral yellow, was so good in comparison to the wedding itself. You needed to utilize the music with a good scene. I think the one scene that was really, really good in was Confident. Confident, when Cressida walked into the ball as Lady Whistledown, was so good. Her outfit ate, the music ate, the cast ate, like everything ate in that scene, and that music worked well. Every other time I feel like the music was overpowering the scene itself. what I want to see for season 4. I think it's gonna be Benedict's season just because Eloise and Benedict were talking about the masquerade ball at the end of the season, and that is when he meets Sophie. Them saying that could be saying that Benedict is the one. Benedict's season with Francesca's storyline coming, like happening as a side plot, and then Francesca and Eloise joint season would be really, really good. Everyone is saying that Julie Andrews will not be voicing Lady Whistledown anymore, and I need them to keep her in. Julie Andrews voicing Lady Whistledown was such an iconic part of the show, and cutting that just because of the change, like, don't do that. Please don't do that. Like, I'm gonna address a couple things. One, I think that if they do more spin-offs of characters, it will cut down on the side plots in the main show so that we don't feel this way we felt this season. So if we did a Lady Danbury spin-off, if we did a Lady Violet spin-off, if we did a Portia spin-off, if we did a Kate and Anthony spin-off, please, I think it would lead to less issues of side plots in the main show. And I genuinely think, guys, I know that Des Brown now said that it's gonna be a 2-year wait for season 4, which is truly insane to me. I think we are getting a spinoff in between that. Like, I do not believe that they're gonna make us wait a whole 2 years for any Bridgerton content, because we had a 2-year wait for season 3 between season 2, but in the middle we got Queen Charlotte, and I think in the middle we're gonna get a spinoff, and I think it's either gonna be Lady Danbury or Lady Violet. So I think we'll be chilling. But I also wanted to talk about the hate and the vitriol that Michaela Sterling is getting, and the hate that Jess Brownell is getting. And I do not think that it is fair at all. Because think about how she's just coming onto the show like in a fully leadership role, and have grace. Like, we need to have grace. Not everything is going to be amazing. Not everything is going to hit. Having a new showrunner changes the whole entirety of a show. That is what a showrunner does. And since y'all just learned that and now you're mad at her, I understand the frustrations. I understand the anger. But the vitriol and the hatred on the internet has been insane. And I feel like we need to end that. The Michaela Sterling hate, the homophobia, and the racism has been absolutely insane. Guys, it is a TV show. We cannot care this much about TV show and TV characters that you are being so hateful to real human beings. Be kind. Choose kindness. I'm begging you. Like, it's not that serious. That is all I have to say about season 3 of Bridgerton. Please let me know what you guys are thinking. Keep it classy, keep it cute. This is a classy party, so keep it classy, respectful, and kind. This is not a place for hate. Comment down below your thoughts. I want to hear it all in a respectful way. And I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I did not enjoy this season as much as I thought I would, but that is okay. Not every season's gonna be an amazing season. And guess what? You can rewatch the seasons you liked. You can read the books if you like them so much. And yeah, that's just what I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! Lonely, you're the reason why I can feel those butterflies.